Start here, where morning light touches your window like a quiet promise. Your eyes are open, your heart is still deciding how to feel about today, and heaven is already nearer than your thoughts. You don't have to earn this nearness. You only need to notice it. Love is standing at the threshold of your day, not to rush you, but to hold you steady. As you rise, carry this simple truth. You are seen, you are known, and you are guarded by a peace that doesn't ask for perfect circumstances to be real. You've walked through nights that spoke too loudly. You've held worries long enough to feel their shape in your chest. And yet, here you are, awake in God's morning where mercy arrives new, not recycled, not secondhand. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are a soul under the careful gaze of the one who makes the sun come up on time and who knows your name without effort. Today is not a test to pass. It's a gift to be open with trust, piece by piece, hour by hour. If you've been carrying a quiet ache, you don't need grand words to be healed. You only need a willing heart. If you wonder whether your small yes is enough, hear this. God's strength begins exactly where your strength runs thin. You can bring him your tired thoughts, your uncertain plans, your anxious what-ifs. He won't flinch. He knows the story behind each one. He knows the day that taught you to brace yourself. He knows the conversation that left you fragile. He knows the prayer you can hardly form. And still, love stands firm over you like a steady sky. Right where you are, choose love as your first posture. Love for God, who has never stopped choosing you. Love for the person you are becoming, patiently, slowly, honestly. Love for the people you'll meet today, even the difficult ones, not because they always deserve it, but because God has poured love into your life to be given away. Bear with one another and forgive one another, as the Lord has forgiven you. Colossians 3:13. This is not weakness. It's the strongest way to walk. It's the way your heart gets free. If your mind drifts to the long list waiting for you, remember this. Peace is not found at the end of the list. Peace travels with you through it. You don't have to choose between being responsible and being at rest. Heaven knows how to hold both. When worries reach for you, give them a new destination. Place them into God's hands as they come. Not all at once, not with drama, just with honesty. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Rest does not mean inactivity. It means your activity begins inside a love that cannot fail. You will notice the world asking you to hurry. You will notice your old fears rehearsing their lines. You might even notice the shadow of yesterday trying to pass for today. But you are not the same person you were yesterday. God has been at work in the dark, mending, aligning, softening what needed to be soft, and strengthening what needed to be strong. Trust that unseen work. Trust the quiet renovations of grace. Trust that the doors meant for you will not close because you chose kindness, and the doors not meant for you will not open no matter how loud the world gets. Your part is simple. Choose love, keep your heart clean, and walk on. If there is a wound that still stings, God is not impatient with its timeline. He is the physician who sits close. He doesn't shame the pain, he heals it. If there is a relationship that feels complicated, ask for the grace to respond with truth and gentleness, not to win, but to bless. If there is a decision ahead, ask for the courage to take the path that honors God, even if it looks smaller. Heaven measures success by faithfulness, not flash. When you choose the quiet obedience that only God sees, Your life gains a weight the world cannot imitate. And if you need a sentence to steady yourself, keep one within reach. In the moments between tasks, when you walk to the next room, when you wait at a light, let your heart speak. Jesus, be my peace. When a harsh memory tries to replay, Jesus, be my peace. When you're tempted to prove yourself, Jesus, be my peace. This is not a spell, it's relationship. And in that relationship, peace is not borrowed, it's given. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. Guarded, that's your word for today. Now lift your eyes to the quiet miracles already present, breath you didn't engineer, light you didn't switch on, a future you don't have to micromanage to make holy. God is ahead of you, arranging kindnesses you can't see yet. God is beside you, translating your sighs into prayers. God is within you, making your heart a place where hope can live without fear of eviction. Start your day with love, not the sentimental kind that disappears when it's inconvenient, but the sacred kind that chooses to bless even when it costs something. Start with the kind of love that trusts God's timing, that refuses bitterness, that forgives quickly, that notices small beauty, that believes joy can grow in ordinary soil. If you're walking into work, bring love with you like light in your pocket. If you're caring for your family, let love set the tone of the room. If you're facing tasks you didn't ask for, remember, your value is not measured by applause, but by faithfulness. Choose gentle words even when no one is grading you for them. Choose patience not because you are passive, but because you are powerful enough to remain calm. Choose generosity today. Share encouragement. Share a listening ear. Share what you can. What you give will not leave you poorer. It will make space for God to fill you deeper. And when you feel small, remember who calls you beloved. When you feel uncertain, remember whose hands hold your story. When you feel overwhelmed, remember the shepherd who knows how to lead you beside quiet waters and restore your soul. Psalm 23:1-3. You are not required to know the whole path to take the next faithful step. Take it. Love will meet you in motion. Grace will find your address. Peace will anchor you in the places that used to undo you. So here is your blessing for the day. May your heart be soft enough to receive and strong enough to endure. May your thoughts be guarded from the noise that pretends to be truth. May your words heal where they land. May your work be soaked in purpose, not pressure. May the cross remind you that nothing can separate you from the love that has already decided to stay. And may the nearness of God be your quiet confidence from morning until night. Walk into this day with a clear face and a kind spirit. Start your day with love. Choose it before the rush. Choose it when the rush arrives. Choose it after the rush has passed. Healing is here, not because you forced it, but because God is faithful. Peace is here, not because everything makes sense, but because you are held. And you, yes, you are exactly where grace knows how to find you. Morning doesn't just arrive outside. It blooms inside when you decide to trust again. Picture the light slipping across your floorboards, slow and certain, like grace finding every corner you thought would stay dim. You are standing at the threshold of a day God already walked through before you woke, quietly placing mercies where you will need them most. Step into that path. Take the first ordinary action with a reverent heart. Make the bed, pour the coffee, send that text, and treat each one as a small altar where love can land. In the quiet hallway of your mind, doors open to memory, some kind, some heavy. Choose which room to sit in. Sit where gratitude waits. Name 3 small gifts as if you're placing wildflowers in a vase: the steady breath in your lungs, the warm cup in your hands, the familiar voice that still reaches for you. Gratitude does not deny pain. It refuses to let pain become the only narrator. When your thoughts try to sprint ahead to 100 outcomes, bring them back like birds to the hand that feeds them. Peace grows where attention rests. When kindness feels costly, remember you are resourced by a love that never runs dry. You don't have to ration gentleness like it's the last loaf on the shelf. Speak a word that softens, even if no one claps for it. Offer patience to the person who doesn't yet know how to receive it. Forgiveness will sometimes feel like lifting more than you can carry. Still, it is the only road that returns you to freedom. God is not asking you to pretend the hurt didn't happen. He is inviting you to release the power it has over your day. That release is strength, not surrender to wrong. On the road between tasks, give your soul a simple sentence to walk with. Try this. Jesus, hold my center. When the inbox swells, when voices rise, when timelines press, go back to that center. From there, choose your next word, your next tone, your next step. You'll notice how often the situation doesn't need your panic. It needs your presence. Presence born from prayer is different. It carries a steadiness other people can feel and sometimes borrow. If your heart still echoes with last night's conversation, place it where it belongs, into hands that know how to mend without tearing. Imagine God's patience as a shoreline catching each wave of frustration until it gentles into hush. You don't need to win an argument to keep your peace. You only need to stay aligned with the truth. Alignment looks like humility when you've been defensive, clarity when you've been vague, and tenderness when you've been sharp. Alignment looks like honoring what is right over what is easy. Some blessings are loud, breakthroughs, answered prayers, doors swinging open. Others arrive almost invisible, courage to apologize, the strength to stay, the clarity to leave, the grace to wait without bitterness. Keep watch for the quiet ones. They are often the foundation under the loud ones. If you need courage today, rehearse the faithfulness you've already seen. Rehearsal is not nostalgia. It's training your eyes to find the faithful pattern of God's care. That pattern did not end overnight. When fear tries to write your schedule, substitute trust as your pen. Trust isn't pretending you're never afraid. It's deciding fear won't have the final word. Whisper this promise when your chest tightens. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will strengthen you and help you. Isaiah 41:10. Notice how those words don't demand perfection. They offer presence. Presence changes the texture of the exact same day. Same meetings, same deadlines, same dishes, but now accompanied by a companion who multiplies your strength and trims your worries down to size. If your plans feel uncertain, bless the uncertainty. It is the soil where dependence grows, and dependence is not a downgrade. It is a doorway. God does not waste ambiguity. He uses it to unlearn hurried control and relearn attentive trust. Today, choose to be faithful to the small assignment in front of you. Faithfulness is irrigation to the roots of your calling. Fruit will come in its season. Your job is to tend what's here, not to yank on branches to force ripening. When you feel behind, speak to your soul the way you would to a dear friend. You would not shame a friend for needing time to heal. Offer yourself the same mercy. You would not call a friend weak for asking help. Allow yourself to be held. You would not rush a friend through grief. Permit your own slow restoration. God is not tapping his foot at your pace. He is keeping time with your breath, teaching you how to hear his rhythm in the ordinary. In rooms where pressure climbs, lower your shoulders and lift your eyes. Scan for the person who needs encouragement and give it without calculation. The paradox of the kingdom is that your heart is healed in part by the healing you offer others. A sincere compliment, a soft apology, a 5-minute message that says, "I'm with you." These are mustard seeds of peace. Scatter them freely. You are not losing yourself by giving love. You are finding the truest version of you in God. When the afternoon dips and your energy fades, don't mistake tiredness for failure. Bodies get tired, souls too. Take a minute with God, the way a child leans into a steady shoulder. No speeches, no performance. Say only what is true. I'm here, and I need you. Watch how even a short return to the source refreshes the roots. From that refreshment, choose one next right thing, not 5. 1. Finish it gently. Offer it back. If a thorn of comparison pricks, remember that grace is not a contest with limited seats. Your lane has its own timing, its own terrain, its own scenery. Celebrate someone else's answered prayer without reading it as a verdict on yours. God writes custom mercies. You don't need a copy to be blessed. Stay by your well and draw from what he has placed in your hands, your gifts, your story, your present assignment. Water the ground you've been given and trust the rain schedule you don't control. Evening will come, but you are not there yet. Stay with the gift of this hour. Smile at the small beauty in front of you. A shaft of light on the table, the echo of laughter from another room, the faithful task completed. Peace deepens when you pay attention. Attention turns ordinary moments into places of meeting. And meeting God in ordinary places is how ordinary lives become radiant without trying to shine. If you crave a final anchor for today, tuck this in your pocket. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Still does not mean inert. It means interior steadiness, a heart governed by confidence in who holds you. No is not a concept. It's a relationship known by practice. God is not far. God is not indifferent. God is here, shaping your courage, softening your edges, and sending you into the world as a quiet carrier of his healing and peace. Go forward with a calm face and a ready kindness. Keep your words seasoned with grace and your steps unhurried by fear. Start your day with love and keep starting again whenever you lose the thread. Healing will not always announce itself, but you will feel your soul growing spacious. Peace will not always sound like a song, but you will notice the noise inside you bowing its head, and in that holy hush, you will recognize what has been true all along. God is with you, and because he is with you, this day is already held. Sunlight keeps inching forward across the floor, and something in you answers it. You don't need a script to begin, only a willing posture. Breathe and notice how the room feels different when you choose to trust the one who already chose you. This is not a day to prove your worth. This is a day to receive what strengthens it. Coffee warms your hands, and you remember that warmth is also a language heaven speaks. Speak it back with how you treat yourself. No harsh self-commentary, no replaying every flaw. Kindness toward your own soul is not indulgence. It's agreement with God's view of you. From that agreement flows a gentler voice for others, an easier smile, a steadier response when plans twist unexpectedly. Tasks begin calling your name. Answer them from a rooted center. Move through each assignment as though you are walking a sacred hallway, door by door, moment by moment, carrying peace like a lantern. Some doors will open easily, others need patience at the hinge. You don't have to kick anything down. Knocking with humility has a way of being heard in the right rooms. When pressure rises, return to the sentence you've treasured. Jesus, be my peace. Say it softly, almost under your breath, and feel how the noise inside lowers its volume. There's a conversation you've been postponing. Courage for it lives closer than you think. Begin with honesty. Trim away the dramatics. Keep your tone clean. The aim is not to win, the aim is to bless. If tears well, they are not proof of weakness. They are proof you have a heart that still cares. And if words stumble, grace knows how to translate. Whatever happens, your identity is not on the table, only the issue is. God holds you while you address what needs light. Your schedule might demand speed, but your soul doesn't have to rush. Move at a humane pace. Notice details normally blurred by hurry. The way morning air tastes a little new. The way a familiar street receives the day like an old friend. Gratitude blooms where attention lingers. Thank God in real time for what your eyes catch and your hands hold. Those quick acknowledgments stitch peace into the seams of your morning. Sometimes healing looks like standing your ground with gentleness. Old lies will try to audition for your attention. You're behind. You're too much. You're not enough. They sound convincing because they've practiced. Answer them with truth you have lived. God has carried you through worse, and today won't be the exception. Craft a reply you can remember. I am held. I am led. I am not alone. Repeat it when doubt rehearses its lines. Your heart learns by repetition the same way your muscles do. If comparison taps on the window, keep your gaze inside your lane. Your gifts weren't issued to compete. They were given to serve. Work the field that is yours with care and joy. Celebrate the fruit in a neighbor's garden without resenting your own season. Some mornings are sowing mornings, heavy on effort, light on spectacle. Trust the invisible arithmetic of God, where no seed of love is ever lost. A memory may wander in, the kind that stings. Don't shove it down or frame your whole day around it. Hand it upward the way a child places a broken toy into gentle hands. There is a specialist for this. He knows how to mend without warping what makes you beautifully human. Your job isn't to fix the fracture by noon. Your job is to consent to being healed while you go about your ordinary faithfulness. That consent is prayer in motion. The people you meet today might be carrying stories you cannot see. Approach each one like holy ground. Ask quiet questions. Offer real listening. You will be surprised how often the Spirit nudges a timely word through your mouth. Nothing lofty, just something true and tender that lands where it's needed. Your presence can be a doorway for someone else to breathe. What a miracle to be used in such a simple way. When the mind begins building catastrophes, notice the blueprint and set it down. You're not required to live in imagined disasters. Reality, right here, right now, is almost always smaller and more manageable than fear predicts. Take the next faithful action. Write the email. Wash the dish. Pray a name. Bless the street you're walking. Peace is practical. It likes to travel with small, doable steps. Your body carries you through all of this. Partner with it. shoulders down, jaw unclenched, breaths that reach the bottom of your lungs. Not performance, attention. You are a temple, not a machine. You offer God better worship when you honor the limits He wrote into your frame. In honoring those limits, you find unexpected capacity, clearer thinking, softer responses, a heart that can stay open longer without snapping shut. There will be moments when you don't know what to say. Silence can also be prayer. In that quiet, picture your worries floating to the surface and God's hand skimming them away like leaves from a calm pond. Trust that help is already on its way in forms you may not have considered. Strength to finish, wisdom to pivot, comfort that lands like a hand on your shoulder. Assistance is not late when it is forming you as it comes. If disappointment follows an early effort, don't rename the whole day. One closed door is not a verdict, it's a redirection. Bless the door anyway. Bless the hallway. Bless the waiting between. You are not stalled, you are steered. There is a difference, and that difference keeps hope alive in ordinary rooms. Your prayers today do not have to sound impressive. Speak to God throughout your morning in the language of real life. I'm grateful for this warmth. Help me answer kindly. Give me clean motives. Guard my mind where it wanders. Use me to ease someone's burden. These small sentences keep your heart aligned with a love that does the heavy lifting while you take the faithful steps. And as the hours begin to unfold, carry a quiet benediction over everything your hands touch. Peace on this task, mercy on this conversation, blessing on this home, clarity on this decision, rest within this effort. You're not conjuring perfection. You're agreeing with a presence that goes before you, stands beside you, and works within you. That agreement will make your morning spacious, your choices clearer, and your words a shelter to those who hear them. Walk on with a steady spirit. Begin again as many times as needed. Each restart is welcomed. Each small yes matters. The God who called this day into being is not waiting at its end to judge it. He is here, mid-sentence, mid-step, mid-breath, holding you together in healing and peace. Windows brighten, and so does your courage. The day stands open like a quiet field, and you're free to walk it without bracing for the worst. You don't have to manufacture holiness. You carry it because the Holy One carries you. Begin with a simple consent in your chest. Yes to God's nearness. Yes to truth. Yes to kindness when frustration beckons. That quiet yes becomes a current under everything else. Traffic might hum, notifications might stack, but inside you there is a small chapel where calm remains. Visit that place often. A thought arrives cruel, answer it with mercy. A plan wobbles, answer it with steadiness. A request interrupts, answer it with presence. The world doesn't need your hurry, it needs the fragrance of a heart at rest. Rest is not laziness, it's alignment with a love that moves without strain. You have permission to build the day with blessing. Bless your desk, your tools, your routes across town. Speak good over names you will encounter. Offer your creativity as a gift, not a performance. Excellence grows where peace is planted, and you can plant peace with tone, pace, and posture. If a curveball comes, you're not alone in the batter's box. Step back, breathe once on purpose, and swing with trust rather than panic. There is work only your hands can do today, because only you carry your particular mixture of story, skill, and compassion. Steward it. Say the truth kindly in rooms that prefer noise. Notice the overlooked and give them your attentive eyes. Fold grace into tasks that feel beneath you. Humility turns small assignments into altars. When a door seems stuck, try the handle named patience. It often opens more quietly than you expect. Old narratives will try to reassert themselves, the ones that call you unprepared, unqualified, unseen. They are not prophets, they are echoes. Answer them with evidence. You survived what should have sunk you. You kept sowing when harvest hid. You chose gentleness in seasons that would have justified cynicism. Evidence stacks into confidence, not in yourself alone, but in the God who met you every time. Confidence like that walks softly and carries light. Keep your prayers conversational and woven into motion. Guide my words in this meeting. Guard my motives here. Shine through me as I make this call. This way of praying keeps you open to correction without self-condemnation and open to encouragement without pride. When you lose the thread, pick it up again mid-breath. Heaven is not counting missteps. Heaven is coaching perseverance. Forgiveness may be on the agenda, though no calendar will say it. If the memory flares, don't pour gasoline, pour truth. The cross is big enough for both the wrong and your response to it. Releasing the debt does not erase wisdom. It erases the chain that drags behind you. Walk lighter. Your spine will notice. Your tone will soften. Your decisions will clear. If fatigue edges in before noon, honor what it's telling you. Take water, take air, take 2 honest minutes of stillness, then choose one task and finish it with care. Completion, however small, restores momentum without bullying the soul. You are not a machine to be whipped into output. You are a beloved person entrusted with moments that become meaning when attended to with love. Comparison prowls softly. It shows up as curiosity that curdles. You can switch the channel. Celebrate goodness wherever it appears and keep sowing where you stand. The kingdom's economy multiplies generosity. Nothing given in love is wasted. Your timeline is not late. Your harvest is not canceled. Your purpose is not fragile. Walk your pace. Obedience has its own rhythm, and it will bring you where you're meant to arrive. Sometimes God's answers travel inside ordinary faces. Be watchful. A colleague's suggestion carries the clarity you prayed for. A stranger's kindness returns your hope to working order. A child's laughter resets the room. Receive these as strategic help, not random accidents. Grace prefers common doors so that you learn to expect God in the daily, not only in the dramatic. Promise yourself honesty. If your smile is tight, ask why. If your patience thins, trace the thread to its snag. Name what hurts without decorating it with despair. Then place it back into the hands that form stars, knowing those hands know exactly what to do with your tender places. You are not fragile glass. You are tempered by mercy. Heat has visited you, but it has not broken you. It has strengthened what needed strength. Speak blessing over those you find difficult. Not naive blessing that denies reality, but courageous blessing that asks God to do in them what He is doing in you. Softening, straightening, purifying motives, enlarging love. Resentment shrinks the world until there's no room to breathe. Intercession expands it again. As you pray, your heart becomes inhabitable to peace, and peace changes how you stand in the same rooms. Hold the truth close. Joy is not postponed until every circumstance agrees. Joy grows like a wildflower in unlikely cracks, on the commute, at the kitchen sink, between emails. Catch it in the act and let it do its work. Joy strengthens the will. brightens the eyes, and makes courage feel more natural. It doesn't ignore pain. It escorts you through it with your humanity intact. Treat interruptions as invitations, not all, but many. Ask, is there a hidden assignment here? Sometimes the assignment is boundaries, sometimes it's service. Wisdom learns the difference. If today's learning requires apology, give it promptly, clean, and without extra words. If it requires resolve, stand calmly and don't explain your worth to those who cannot see it. Your value was settled long ago. Imagine your path like a sunlit corridor. Each step forward is a consent to be led. You don't have to see the end to walk beautifully in the middle. Keep your face open, your words seasoned, your hands ready to do good. Where fear used to grip, faith will take the rail. Where shame used to speak, dignity will answer. Where heaviness used to settle, a lighter courage will rise. And if you need one sentence to carry into every threshold today, borrow this. I walk held, I work loved, I speak from peace. Say it before the meeting, over the sink, at the door, across the street. Truth repeated becomes muscle memory. Muscle memory becomes a new way of living. This is how a morning becomes a testimony without fanfare, quiet, faithful, beautiful in the ways that last. Your morning is already held together by a kindness you didn't have to earn. Stand in that kindness for a breath and choose how you will walk through the hours ahead. Choose a generous tone before the first conversation. Choose a steady pace before the first deadline. Choose to remember that grace is not a finish line far away. It's the ground under your feet right now. The day will present moving parts, requests, plans, interruptions, but beneath them runs a quiet river of God's nearness, and you can dip your thoughts into it anytime. Some worries may try to rehearse themselves the moment you step out. Answer them with a calm, uncluttered sentence. I am guided, and good will meet me here. Lift your eyes to the present task and treat it like a sanctuary. Wipe the counter with gratitude. Compose the message with honesty. Begin the project with prayer woven into your thinking. This is how a life becomes luminous without trying to shine, by doing common work in communion with a faithful God. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118:24. Rejoicing does not mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to surrender the narrative to fear. If an old bruise aches, refuse to organize your whole morning around it. Offer the ache into wiser hands and keep moving in truth. Bless the person who is difficult without pretending harm is harmless. Bless your own heart too, because a heart that keeps blessing stays open to healing. When you feel the pull to compare, return to your lane. Water the field entrusted to you. Trust the timetable you cannot see. God is not late. He is precise. Doors you need will meet you in motion, not in worry. Carry a quiet courage into each room. Speak clearly without harsh edges. Listen with an unhurried face. Say yes where love invites and no where love protects. Courage is not volume. It is fidelity to the light you've been given. And when you're unsure, ask for alignment more than answers. Answers build plans. Alignment builds peace. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and He will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. Straight does not always mean easy. It means guided. Keep a short prayer within reach as you go. Jesus, keep my center true. Whisper it between tasks, before a call, at a doorway. You will notice the inner weather begin to settle. From that settled place, give what you can. Patience to a hurried colleague, kindness to a stranger, attention to a child, honor to your own limits. None of this is wasted. Heaven counts seeds, not spotlights. And seeds of love grow quietly into trees that shade more lives than you will ever know. So step forward with shoulders lowered and a soft strength in your eyes. Walk like someone who is loved and therefore free to love. Your morning has room for restoration. Your work has room for meaning. Your words have room for peace. Begin and begin again as often as needed. The God who called the sun across your window is walking beside you, healing what hurts and anchoring what wavers. You are not behind. You are not alone. You are being led. If this prayer resonates with your spirit, stay connected with our community. Subscribe to the channel for more morning Catholic prayers and share this with someone who needs peace today. Comment, "I surrender completely to God," and I'll meet you again in the next morning prayer.